how I just can't hear your claps. Like it's very dispersed in.
Really? I get yours perfectly.
Really? That's interesting.
Maybe I have to get a little more intimate with the mic.
Yeah, maybe. All right. Anyway, hello everyone.
Jump into the content.
Yep, let's get into it.
Okay, here we go. Content.
Here we go.
I'll do a quick clap in, and we're good.
Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome back to the final episode of the Bad Questions Worst Answers podcast. Each week, I, Connor, along with my friend Charlie.
Hello there, friends. Wow, really drug it out.
Present a bad question to the others. Then we attempt to explore these bad questions with the worst answers. Guys, episode 28. Charlie,
Connor, I've got a question.
Yeah.
I'm jumping in right off with a question.
Here we go.
At what point is the welcome back to the final episode bit gonna get old?
I don't know. I'm just so used to saying it to where I don't even think about it. It was a real funny. It was a funny bit at the beginning. But
no, and
yeah.
I like it. I just wondered if is there a time where that stops being funny? I think it's funny.
I think it's funny too. I think it'll be one of those things where it's like it's really funny like at the beginning, like we're all having a real hearty laugh about it now. And then like later it won't be funny, and then later, after the later, it'll be ironically funny. Like it'll come back again. Like the whole like what's up, like like that came back around and that was funny again.
maybe at some point we start counting up, like it's episode 56, and we just start being like, "Welcome back to the second episode of the Bad Questions Worst Answers podcast," and just like from there, like we just start at a random useless number.
Yeah, and we don't even like number these episodes, so yeah, we could really we can make up whatever.
Okay, well, we can see that. On the topic of humor, Connor, this week we had a first for the channel.
It was a big week for the channel, guys. I decided to spice it up, get something different in there. I decided to live stream, and I'm going to be live streaming every Wednesday from 7 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Central Time, yeah. So for those who are watching and were at the stream, make sure to comment how much you loved the stream. And if you weren't there, make sure to tune in on Wednesday. That was my Brett moment. I did like the whole like. You know what I noticed, though? This pissed me off. When I was hanging out in the chat, you can expect me to be there most Wednesdays, folks. So if you want to just hang out with the pod crew a little bit, I'll be there to answer any of your questions. I don't have mod status, which I'm a little pissed about, but we can talk about that off air. A lot of people are mad that they don't have mod status.
Who else deserves it?
Brody was all upset that he didn't get mod status, so I made him mod.
That's bullshit. I make content. I help produce content for this channel. Brody just produces comments, which is a vital and integral thing. And we love Brody dearly for it, but I don't know. I don't feel like there's any case to be made there.
I think the way I differentiate it is that yes, you do play a valuable creative role at the moment. But Brody is on the front lines. He is he's putting the content in Discords. He's putting the content everywhere. He's making sure eyes are on it.
Yeah, but when I pop in, I should have a wrench. Brody can also have a wrench.
But if so many people will have a wrench in the chat if we do that.
If I get one?
Yeah, that means like 3 people have mod.
So we're just getting ready for the onslaught.
I don't want my chat flooded at the moment with a bunch of moderators. That makes me look like a jabroni.
Well, then take away the guy that has it right now. I don't know if we should say his name or not. Is that a thing?
Chris?
Yeah, take away Chris's mod status.
Chris has been a mod since like 2017.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes good employees have to retire. You got to move on from them. You need fresh, new faces in there.
I don't know. That's something that I have to think about. I
don't want you to take it away from Chris. I just want a frickin' wrench.
if I get to 50 plus viewers, or if I get 25 plus viewers, I will give you a wrench.
Okay.
If we get 25 plus viewers and the chat is out of control,
I'm going to leverage the 25 people that watch this, of which I'm one. Let's make it happen. I want a wrench. I want people to know that I'm somewhat important. I'm not important enough to make it into the content, make it into the stream, and that's fine. But I want a wrench. I want my presence to be known and acknowledged.
Okay, I understand that, but as the CEO of Connor Moffat right now,
oh jeez,
I've got to do some litigating.
The first of many intense debates about the success of the channel. This stuff's gonna get heated. I can't wait till we have animated arguments on the pod about how to distribute the income of the channel. Whenever that starts to happen.
I know. Well, I mean,
that's gonna be hot.
I think. Well, I feel like it'll be pretty simple. You just get half of the podcast revenue and half the Patreon.
Oh, half the podcast revenue.
Yes.
That's an interesting little qualifier you put in there. We'll cross these bridges when we get there. We'll work it out. It'll be mature. It'll be civil. And it'll all happen.
I don't want a Connor Moffat takeover. I don't want this to be Connor Moffat Charlie. I want this to be Connor Moffat. On Sundays, it's Charlie as well.
This is going to be like Barstool. We've got cameras everywhere. Like you're signing up to be part of a reality TV show when you sign up to work here. All of our simple work disputes and labor arguments solved on air. That's our brand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it kind of is. But
how do you feel about?
Oh, I thought it was a ton of fun. Yeah, it was. It kind of blew my expectations away a little bit. Yeah, it was a ton of fun, and I've never I used to live stream a few years ago, just gaming stuff for an hour, and it was alright. But doing it this time, and I was expecting 4 concurrent viewers, but we were hitting 10 to 12 pretty consistently, which I thought was really great. And
halfway to my wrench.
Yeah, without your wrench in there, but and you were late too. You showed up a half an hour. Showed up a half an hour late.
I'm a busy guy.
All right,
more
whatever.
45 minutes.
And also, Danny Ronner happened to be streaming. He happened to take away my streaming spot, so that was great. He stole that from me.
But we beat him.
We did beat him. By a pretty significant amount, so that was great. And yeah, I loved seeing all of the people who comment pretty regularly in there, like Doom, Perchero.
Really great way to connect with the core audience that we have here. You have here.
I have. Yeah.
Just to clear it up.
Yeah, just some clarification there. But yeah, a lot of the people that came onto the live stream were also listened to the pod, which is super cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really have.
If you're here right now, you're part of the important part of this channel. You're the base, the kindling, the heat that keeps the fire roaring.
Yeah, exactly.
What can we look forward to on the next live stream, Connor? Maybe a chat that's a little less delayed. That'd be a big win.
I did figure that out. I just had to change the latency. I think I want to have the bit rate to be a little bit higher because I thought it said it was in 1080p, but it was a little bit grainy for me. So I changed. I'm gonna change it to 30 FPS and just bump the bit rate up, and hopefully that is fine there. But yeah, the delay is gonna be gone. I figured out what the delay is.
That's going to be a big win. And if your internet can take higher res, that'd be a nice win as well. But I think I would take not having buffering over better resolution, I think. And there was some buffering at times.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have a gig of internet here, but also it's a little spotty at times, so I don't know.
It's a learning experience. We're going through it with the viewer.
But I think a lot of people had fun on there, so that was good.
It was a good time. If you're on the edge, you should come and join in. I might show up on time this week. We'll see. A lot of exciting things up in the air.
It was a lot of fun. And yeah, be there, show up. I'm doing it on Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. Central Time.
Playing Minecraft, right? Single player world.
Mm-hmm.
Little survival action.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and also I wanted to shout out Doominator. Doominator's been a real frickin' crusher on the
pods. Working his way through the pods.
On the pods. Yeah, he's been started from first episode and he's working his way up. It's been great.
It means a lot. I think it's fair to say, from our perspective, it means a lot that somebody's that interested in our opinions. I mean, I love something that feeds my ego a little bit, and Doom's doing that for me right now.
Oh, yeah.
He's keeping me nice and inflated. My friends love it.
That's what we like.
Yeah.
I just want to shout that out because I thought that was really cool.
Nice work, Doom.
Yeah, thanks, Doom. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anything?
I've got a mildly interesting story from my week. I'll keep it pretty short, but I was at the coast, taking some pictures of the sunset as it was going down with the waves and the tides and some cool rocks, that kind of deal. And then all of a sudden, it's like sort of a cliffside thing. It's a beautiful area. I'm not saying it because I don't want people hunting me down. I don't want people coming to some of my favorite.
As someone who's a public figure, you kind of want to be a little careful with that stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a cliffside thing, and so I'm down more on the water at the base of these cliffs, and all of a sudden I hear someone shriek, which was initially worrying because it's like cliffside, and there's a lot of skinny little paths that work their way down to the water. It's not a place where a shriek is what you want to hear.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound like a worrying shriek, but I heard it, and I kind of turn around. I'm there with a buddy. I hate saying buddy. God, I think it's the most annoying way to talk about someone.
Yeah.
I was there with a friend. I hear the shriek. I turn, and there's a guy on his knee, a girl standing up, and she was shrieking, and it's immediately clear in that moment what's happening, right? He was proposing to his girlfriend, and she's saying yes, and they're hugging and kissing, and I'm here with my camera. And what do? Big guy, nice guy. We've talked about this. It's 2021. It's the year of the nice me. I start snapping pics. They're not great. I'm far away. I'm having to really zoom in. The light's pretty bad. They're super backlit. But I did it, and I felt good about it, and it was a nice thing. And it was funny because they realized what I was doing and waved down to me, and I'm running around on these rocks trying to find a decent angle because it was such a tough thing to shoot. But anyway, it was a nice thing. And then later, they kind of kept doing their thing. My friend and I were freaking out, consulting each other about how we handle this. How do we get there? A way to send it to them. We don't want to walk up on their post engagement and be yo, so I just snapped some shots down on the rock. I didn't know if you wanted me to send those to you.
$200 actually.
Yeah. I'll bill him later.
Yeah.
After the fact. But anyway, felt really good about that. And it was cool to experience that. I don't think I've ever seen a proposal. So that was neat, and it was cool to provide them with something. Hopefully the pictures come out at least a little okay. Either way, I recorded a nice moment for people. I handled the interaction with them later. We hung around, we kind of headed up, and then they sort of started leaving at the same time, and so we intersected nicely. They were really nice, really gracious, and I handled it super well, which was big for me. It was really good.
What did they say? Where were they?
Well, the guy said that he was thinking about hiring a photographer. He had a friend that did it, and so he was trying to think about how to do it, but he said he didn't know where they were going to sit down and watch the sunset. So he didn't have a place to tell the photographer to go to, and it became too hard to time. And so it just ended up being like a perfect coincidence. Like I was there trying to take some pictures of the sunset. They kind of took the best lighting from me. If I'm gonna be honest, like I probably lost my best shots of the day. But anyway, cool thing for me, a cool little moment. Nice to be a part of that. Congratulations to them. I don't know either of their names. Not that I would say them. I don't want to send our
we don't want that. Yeah,
the BQW army. I don't want them going after.
For fuck. The army, yes.
I mean, there'd be 30 really passionate people showing up at their door, and I'm not sure that I want to be doing that to them. But anyway, congratulations to those people, and nice moment for me to be a part of, and I handled it well. I'm getting better, people. I'm being nicer. Also, as a follow-up to my discussion last week of my situation with the fellow with the broken foot that I've been helping out, that's been dying down. Like I've kind of set some ground rules, and I think we're working that out. I think we're kind of establishing the end of this period of our lives. So that's good.
Well, that's good, yeah.
Yep, and he's getting better too. He's more mobile now, and that's good. So anyway, little update on me. What's up with Charlie? You know, who cares about Brett? I'm the new Brett.
Fuck Brett. He's a Fairweather member. It's
yeah.
I don't even want to get started on that.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Brett. We don't need to bring it down.
It just fucking gets me hot.
You want to jump into your question, or you want me to start it off?
Yeah, I'll jump in.
All right.
My question this week is, how much of an act could you put on? Like how big of a show could you just put on for other people? I guess, yeah,
Is there something you're thinking of with this?
Yes. Yeah. I was doing research just for trying to find out how to make my YouTube channel better, just make my content better. And yeah, all that stuff, just trying to figure out how to level up the channel. And I mean, there's millions of channels where it's this is how you get to 0 subscribers to 1 million in a month. Yeah. And it's one of the most ridiculous things anyone's ever heard.
You're just doing that side hustle grind, and these people are up in here with the false advertising.
Yeah.
We don't care for it.
Yeah, but there was this channel that I was watching, Video Influencers, I think it was called. And these guys really emphasize the influencer. You are and it's weird because it's one of the most cringeworthy, almost hated terms for people to be called. You're an influencer. This is what you are. And it's a little annoying, but these two guys, it is the way they talk, it's apparent to me that they are you know how when you're on camera, you're on, they are on to a whole nother level. We have normal people and this is them, and it's almost they're just putting on a big ol' act for us. And they're they're talking about just you need to have these niches and all this stuff. You need to hone your niche. And there's this channel that I love. There's this girl doing van life, and she did these videos of how to do her hair and makeup. And you may not think that it's van life, but it's van life, okay? She's doing van life. This is what she's covering, because she's doing this stuff in her van. This is how she relates it to van life.
It just seems utterly useless. There's going nowhere. It has no explanation of what to do or how to do it.
Yeah, they really hone in their niche. They're all about the niche. And
I love that. It's defending your niche, some sort of African savanna, a cheetah or something that has to defend its part of the food chain.
Yeah, which I agree, you need a niche with the YouTube channel, but Anyway, and they're like, in the other guy was like, yes, I totally agree. You know, I go to my car guy. When I go on YouTube, I go to my car guy, I go to my tech guy, and when I go for my entertainment, I go watch The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. Great show. I love it. And then the other guy's like, yes, I love that.
Quick Mandalorian shout out.
I love that show. It is so great. And also, if you're getting value out of this video, make sure to hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It would help a lot.
So and it's just like this stream of consciousness, like just word vomit that they're hoping you get something out of.
It's bad. And like it's like 90% bullshit and like 10% just actual stuff that is like worth putting like thought into. But yeah, that's kind of where I was coming from with this question for this week. Yeah, that was my inspiration.
Yeah, well, I don't know, Connor, if you know about this, but back in high school, I don't know how to say this like politely. I was a bit of an actor.
You were a bit of a buff in the theater.
Kind of a theater guy. Put in a lot of time in the theater, did a lot of acting, some leads, you know.
Nothing to brag about or anything.
Yeah, you know, we got a small program. You know, I don't want to be like clouding myself, but a good number of leads.
Yeah.
And so I think it's fair to say that I could act. Kind of a professional, like I don't know, you know.
Okay, but this though, you're like lying to so many people. Like you're committing like a level of social fraud that is like unprecedented. Like, how long could you keep up with that?
That's a super great point. And I think like the thing you made me think of there is like, if I were in a video like that, is not acting, right? Like that's where I should be me. Like you turn it on a little bit, you know, like you do some kind of a character, but it's not like, that's what's so queer to me about that setup that they have going on there, is that like that's just a thing where you're you, although you're not, because it's YouTube and so many people are just nuts. But you turn it on a little bit, but yeah, that's where it's just total BS. I don't think I could respect myself if I put on an act like that in a long-term sense.
Yeah. It's... Yeah, I just, like, thinking about, like what I said, like, new coin term, put this in the dictionary, social fraud that you're committing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And it's like, we know that, like, we know people that do this. Like, it's, I guess, like, that, you know, like, it's very popular to call people, like, fake or whatever. But, it's so, I like, a part of me doesn't understand. Like, I get, like, being on, you know, like, what you were saying, like, being on camera, like, you're on to a certain extent. And but like I feel like if you're doing that, I feel like that has to like bleed in a little bit to your personal life. I don't know, like I don't think I could like, I think if I don't know, I think if I went all in, I think I could, I think it would be fun to try and do it. Like hey guys, my name's Kyle, I'm from Montana. I have a little bit of a past with alcohol. I just went back from my AA meeting, so God
you just,
bless
like,
me.
Fully dive into a new character.
Yeah.
I think that's different. Like, these people, like, if you did that, it would be like a character in a video or something. I feel like maybe you're thinking of it in a different way, but these people are saying like, here I am, I'm Connor Moffat, but I'm not at all Connor Moffat, and it's so clear. I've been like, because I watch your content just on constant loop, I've been getting
And if you're getting value out of this podcast, make sure to like that. Make sure to like the video.
I've been getting recommended like more and more content that's like yours, like analysis, like yeah, just analyzing shitty content basically. And I've been really enjoying seeing a lot of it because I'm getting exposed to things I've never seen before. Like I don't think I'd ever seen a Jake Paul or whatever his brother's name is video ever.
Logan, yeah.
Yeah, Logan Paul. I don't think I'd ever seen any of that. And I was watching it, or like watching someone talk about how bad it was, and it's just like I couldn't even stomach this. Like it's so gross to me how fake that kind of thing is, and it sounds exactly like the thing you're talking about. I just don't understand how people can be attracted to that. It's like
it's like the Jimmy Fallon
he's
complex like Ellen thing where you're like this American sweetheart on TV, and then after that you're like the biggest fucking asshole like there ever was.
Yeah, I just don't understand who's watching that and not feeling the same way. I don't understand how, like, because we're all real people, and so we can look at other people and be like, they're real or they're not. I don't know how you can look at that and be comfortable watching it. It's like I'm watching an animal like perform or something like that. Like just something that is like kind of unhealthy and unnatural.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable for me to watch that kind of content. I don't understand why it gets so much views.
Well, it's weird because like I like thinking about it like on a deeper level. Like they know that like the persona that they're putting on TV, they're advertising that to other people, but they know like how they actually are, like when they're not doing this, and it's like manipulative in a way, but I wouldn't go like that far. Like I don't know. Like the Jimmy Fallon thing, like all those like TV host celebrities, they're all we're just like buddying up each other on the camera, and then after that we're just like, okay, fuck you, like I don't care, like this is like over. Like how much do you like hate your job to or just like hate yourself to just like go up there, put on this like hour of just like putting on a smile, and then I don't know, it's so confusing.
The one thing I'll give in defense of Fallon, let's get a big title card, in defense of Fallon, and the other ones, although I think Fallon is like just by far the grossest about it. He just looks like a coked up squirrel the whole time. Like it's just like running at a level that no one should like be able to. But I think like in defense of them, their job is to make these people entertained. You know, like they get guests by those guests coming on to promote something. And so those guests, are being sent there by a studio, and that studio's paying for the whole, like their paycheck comes from making these people seem fun and selling whatever content those people are there for. Like they're just sort of a glorified ad, So in some sense I get needing to like hysterically laugh at everything and really play up whatever's going on with whatever, canned stories they come in with, just because that's your job. I get that a little bit. What I don't get is like when you get it on YouTube, it just is like, you don't need to be that. You don't. Like,
yeah, and the whole thing about YouTube is like YouTube was like built off of just like you, like authentically you. YouTube. Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, the people are people are like, it's so weird, but like YouTube has gotten into a realm where like you can gain, like there's like everyone says that like no one knows, like I think to a degree like no one knows what the fuck like the YouTube algorithm wants, but there are ways to like gain the system. Like it's hard and all that stuff, but to gain the system you have to be like a Mr. Beast or someone like that where you're just kind of like playing it up, or you're like a Daryl Eves.
Do it to the level of some. I feel like he's
no, yeah,
he at
Mr.
least
Beast is pretty
feel
normal.
Like he's presenting something. Like when he's going into the mode, he's looking like he's in the mode, not just selling like, here I am, I'm so energetic.
Yeah.
I can't. That's the stuff that just, it freaks me out to watch.
Yeah, and it's kind of, it's rampant with all of these like YouTube, like help people where they're trying to like, YouTube tutorial people where it's like, here's how to get to 1,000 subs, and it's like, it's just a bunch of ad PR people where it's like, I'm in the business of getting more traffic to your videos, and yeah, you basically need to, what is your audience doing? What is your audience about? Like, what are they eating for breakfast? Like, I need to know those things.
They probably say hits too. They're probably some of the people that say hits, which I think is like the telltale term of someone I don't want to be involved with.
Yeah, you're outdated when you're like, oh, this got 30,000 hits on YouTube.
Yeah,
it's like, what are we doing?
It's so annoying. There's nothing that pisses me off more than people that say hits. It just is not a term that is not okay to use. It's unacceptable. Do you think there's a chance that the YouTube algorithm would like listen to the video or like listen to the tempo and like energy of the speaker? Like, I don't know.
I feel like I've heard that before. I think there is like a little bit of validity to that. I don't know, but I feel like I've heard of that before.
I feel like it wouldn't be that hard for an algorithm to do that and pick up on that.
Yeah, picking up on like the energy of like a voice and yeah, no, I totally, I mean, that would make a ton of sense.
I also wonder how much of it, and maybe this is why, like, maybe this explains my point about why people can watch it and not hate themselves. But do you think some of it's like because it's aimed at kids? Or do you think like content that is aimed at kids can pull off that super energetic vibe and they buy into it more and that helps? Like,
yeah, I think it's just like kids or like a general audience. Like, you don't really, it's for anyone, like G-rated. I think, like, because you're really playing it safe when you're like that, which I think is like, not that I think playing it safe is bad, but I think once you play it safe, you get to a realm of vanilla that no one can personally reach to at a normal level. Like, there's no one that's that vanilla and like having that be their actual personality. I don't know.
I think it's fair to say that we're really in the danger zone here, putting on more or less accurate portrayals of ourselves. We're kind of risking it all. Like,
I mean, why do you think it took me so long to get this whole? Why do you think I started YouTube in 8th grade? I started this channel in 8th grade. I think, I'm pretty sure. It was either that or like early freshman year. I don't know.
I'm not the guy to ask.
I don't know. I mean, let's not get into it. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I kind of just put myself out there. I'm doing before I did commentaries on Minecraft and Dirty Bomb talking about God knows what, and just being my authentic, true self.
There we go. That's the key. And maybe on that note, we jump to my next question. Unless you have anything more you want to cover on that, but I feel like we covered that pretty well.
I think I just wanted to emphasize my truthfulness, my truth. I just wanted to speak it.
I think we could both like put on an act for a pretty decent amount of time if we wanted to, but I just don't think like it would be better than what we do now. I feel like us doing an act would just be bad.
I don't think I would be doing this podcast past like 10 episodes if I was doing an act.
If we made it there, I'd be proud. If we could pull off one episode in just an absurd like Energizer Bunny attitude,
that would be awful.
Yeah, and maybe it like works for those people, but I think like we're yeah, I don't think I could do anything better in that kind of a mode. I think we're better
Yeah.
being honest. And on that note, I want to say something or ask a question that's completely unrelated to that. As is the nature of the pod. You guys know, it's
Yes.
BQWA.
And if you're getting value out of this podcast, make sure to leave a
Please
like.
like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Um, what would you put on an album cover? Maybe a better place to start is if you had an album, what would be on the album? Does that make sense? Like what content would fill up your
Yeah.
album?
Like both like what would I do for the album cover and like the album itself?
Yeah, because to me they seem sort of related. But
Yeah, I guess. I think I like I've thought about this. I've thought of like getting like really jacked and like doing like a John Lennon or like a Selena Gomez and just going on there like naked. But like I frame it as like each album progression. It's like I put Gauge and Blur on the photo, and like by like the third album you can finally see the picture in its
yeah,
clarity, and it's just me and like the buff or whatever. I don't know. I think that would be. I don't know why I thought of that a while ago, but I don't know. But it would either have to be like a like some sort of photo shoot of me, or just
mm.
like I commissioned someone to draw something. I don't know if I could do anything in between. I mean,
I
yeah,
don't think I would go the self-portrait route. To me it just seems too like obvious or like generic, and I don't know. I don't like the brand of me. Does that make sense? I think
yeah.
first of all, it wouldn't be like a solo. I don't feel like I would produce a solo album of material where that would make
Hmm.
sense. Um, but I think I'd be more interested in sort of like what you talked about with like a progression thing, where like each album builds on a theme or something like that. There's at least like a consistent art style to it. That's
Yeah.
the stuff I think I'd be more interested in.
I think my album it would either be like anthemic like punk rock like My Chem.
Mm,
I love me some My Chem and like that 2000s
classic.
punk rock. Or it would be like hip hop, R&B, like soul type stuff. Um, I don't know if that would fit my aesthetic, but I love me some Frank Ocean, and
Hmm.
yeah, that's kind of my fave. But also, I don't know, I like a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure. I think it's pretty unlikely I would ever produce music. I mean, I'd love to, but I have basically no talent. Um, but yeah, I feel like it would probably be some sort of like kind of classic rock modernized or something like that. Um, that would be on my album. Maybe a comedy album. How about that? There's a
That
bad
would be
answer.
fun.
Maybe that's probably the thing we're most likely to do, wouldn't you think? You and I produce some kind of shitty like 7-inch comedy.
Stand up, yeah.
Yeah, a two-man show.
Yeah. Oh man, that'd be like awful and great at the same time.
It's something to
Uh,
look forward to. I'm looking through just album covers of music that I like, and I'm noticing that I'm a big fan of Supertramp album covers. Like it's sort of like themed illustrations. A lot of them, like Breakfast in America, is a good example of that. Um, I'm a big fan both of that music and also of their album covers. I think that era in general too. Like Styx, I like a lot of their album covers. I think Paradise Theater is a beautiful album cover. Um, I think my favorite all time, and maybe it's unfair to like put you on on why can't I think of the word? Anyway, put you like on the hook for this, I guess, is I think my favorite album cover of all time is the White Album though. Like it's gotta be. I love the White Album.
Really, that's interesting.
Because it's something unlike anything else, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure there's any other album that if you showed it to me, like, without text or something, that could be universally as picked out, you know?
Just as like the cover.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
That's
everybody
true.
just knows. Like, it's the White Album. It's an infamous thing. Maybe I do, like, the Orange Album.
Um. Yeah, it's. I'm trying to think. Like, I'm trying to think of a lot of the album covers. A lot of the album covers I have are like photo shoots or like self portraits or some kind.
Mhm.
But I do love. I do, because I have my record collection right next to me. It's like a mix of a lot of stuff, but I would either have to like pick some sort of aesthetic, or like for example, with the Weeknd's new album. Not new. It's like a year old, but he's been marketing the frick out of that thing. He came up with like a character and everything,
Mm.
and like he didn't like really describe it or anything, but like through like his music videos, he's kind of like developed this story of sorts with, like this like he was all like bandaged and bloody and like it was really interesting and unique. I don't know, but I am very vain, and I would love a good photo taken of me for an album cover.
Yeah, I can't deny you that at all. This is another one I just saw that I think is a phenomenal album cover. It's like half the reason I enjoy the band and the song is because I think this album cover is so great. But there's a band called the Dead South, and they do. I'm not good at like describing music genres. If you're looking it up there, Connor, the album is called. Just a second.
They're
Good
folk
company.
bluegrass. Good company.
Folk bluegrass. Yeah, that's a good way to describe it, I suppose. And all four members of the band sort of have like a thing that is unique about their aesthetic, maybe.
Yeah.
And so the album cover is like their four things illustrated. So like one of them's like this sort of tie, and there's like a guy that wears this same type of tie every time. There's a guy with a crazy beard. So there's a crazy beard. There's a guy with like anyway, it's like that sort of a thing, and each member has like their thing illustrated on this nice black and white album, with nice like white font saying, you know, the band and the album name. Like, I really like that as a way of like, here's our four personalities illustrated on this album cover. I think that's a really like clean and kind of fun way to go about it.
Have you seen any of Weezer's album covers? I'm
No.
sure you have. It's literally like it'll be like the blue album, the red album, like the green album, and it's just a picture of the four of them with the colored background. A lot of their album covers are like that, like yeah, I don't know, like they had like the Black album and it was them all in black and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of anything with a consistent art style that sort of ties back to the artist, like that Dead South thing does. I think Mr. Wives album covers kind of do that. They've sort of got something that moves in and out like that. I really like the photography in Billy Joel album covers, but this is sort of just turning into me mentioning random album covers that I'm a fan of. But yeah, so you're going the self-portrait route, and I think I'm more of like an illustration or like an art style thing. What kind of a photograph would you want? Like a moody, like you said, maybe a nude? What are you after?
Yeah,
there?
something artistic, something moody, like where I just like look freaking banging in.
Nice. So
And
you're going
with me
all the
working
way.
out, and with me working out, that could happen anytime soon.
That's true. How's that going? How's that going?
It's been good. I've been a little bit discouraged this week. For the video that went up yesterday, I had to do a scene where I was in a ribbed tank top. And I don't think I think I looked fat in it, to be frank. I think I have some sort of body dysmorphia going on. Maybe, I don't know. My girlfriend says I look fine, Sarah. But
Friend of the show. Well, enemy of the show.
yeah, it's real complicated how that gets all mixed up. But yeah, I think I have lost a little bit of weight. I think the way at least I look in the mirror.
That's good. That's huge.
Yeah, I mean, like next week will be week 7, so I guess that's good. I'm hoping to have a flat stomach by my birthday or late March.
That'd be
so we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, best of luck with that, Connor. We'll let the comment section determine how fat you are. That's their role.
Yeah, that's good. That's I don't know if I'll be able to if I'll have the stomach to look at those comments, but anyway.
Let's support Connor. Let's support Connor as he's working towards self-growth. I'm being nicer. Connor's being thinner.
Yeah,
we're both making our way.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point to end off the episode.
Maybe you taking your nude album cover would sort of be like
a triumph of sorts.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like you pushing the boulder to the top of that mountain, like that Greek or Roman myth, whatever it is. Like that's you getting your boulder to the top and declaring victory.
Yeah.
Like here I am. I'm a success. I've got an album, a comedy album. I've got my hour worked out, and here I am naked on the front of it. I doubt there's many comedy albums with nudes on the front. Like I can't picture Jim Jeffries, stepping in front of a white screen and taking it all off for the camera.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Anyway, sorry my question wasn't great. It seemed really good in my head, but I probably needed more prep to pull it off well.
No, I thought it was good.
But we had a nice time. I got to plug some albums that are good. Check out my Spotify. Is that a thing people plug? I'd like to plug.
Really. I don't think so. If someone's plugging their Spotify account, they have something. There's something wrong with them.
You know what I don't like? I have at least 4 friends on Spotify, and only 2 of them pop up in my friend activity thing on the Spotify app. And
are we friends on Spotify?
We might not be. We might have to amend that. But I don't know. I want to see what other people are listening to because I like finding music that way. I like looking at what Brett's listening to and then going and disliking those songs so they never pop up. I don't know. I feel a little bit cheated by Spotify's friend activity feature. Maybe there's something they have to turn on their end. But anyway, Spotify, highly recommended. Thanks for sponsoring this pod. They did not sponsor this pod.
Yeah.
Go to spotify.com/BTQWA for nothing. That website won't exist.
Yeah, for now.
Yeah. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future this ad it's a preemptive ad.
Yeah.
Listen to music on Spotify and podcasts.
From the BQWA.
Yeah, they paid Joe Rogan a lot of money, so you go pay them a little.
Yeah. I agree.
First month free.
All right. Goodbye, guys. Let's clap this out.
How do I find you on Spotify?